Nicolas Cage may be more known for his roles in Wild at Heart and Leaving Las Vegas, but the one role he did in the movie from 1997 called Con Air certainly has to be one of his most iconic roles as this guy Cameron Poe that in many ways becomes an unlikely hero in the movie. The reason why the role is so iconic is that in this role, Nicolas Cage really perhaps shows himself like the ultimate action hero, mostly like what Bruce Willis does in Die Hard as John McClane. And this movie absolutely reminds you of that when one guy has to stand up to and stop all the bad guys in a series of clever moves. The way Cameron Poe as a character outsmarts them all by faking to be on their team only to backstab them in the end and becoming a national American hero in the process is simply a work of art. As you know, the concept in the movie is a quite unique one, where you have assembled all the hardcore criminals and derelicts in the world on the same plane, a concept you probably have not seen before and never will see again. The only movie it might remind you a bit of is the movie called U.S. Marshals, where a plane with prisoners suddenly crashes. The movie is of course called Con Air because of the concept where these hardcore criminals take control over the plane and pins down the guards led by the infamous Cyrus the Virus, played by none other than John Malkovich, which is extremely good in this role. In this world of hardcore criminals, Cameron Poe is the only hope, and the plane is about to be shut down, but instead he is able to save the day. And I really dig this character and how he sacrifices himself and wants to help his friend on the plane that has diabetes. The first hour of the movie might not be that good, but when he becomes Crazy Nick, which is a reference you might have seen if you have watched the quite entertaining and unique movie from 2022 called The Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent, you see this reference, which in a way is a situation where he needs to become this crazier and wilder version of himself in order to save the day. You just see that when he threatens the pilot to land in Las Vegas, when he bashes this guy that steals the toy he has brought for his daughter, or when he chases Cyrus the Virus in order to apprehend him after the plane is landed to fully save the day. What also is quite strange is that he never got off the plane when he had a chance, which was something the other character played by John Cusack had a wild speculation about when he had very little time before he was eligible for parole, and this was the day he was going to see his daughter. But it turns out that he put everything aside for a minute in order to become a real hero, despite it seemed that he had everything to lose. He locked himself in a game of pretending to have a longer sentence and snooping in because he wanted to know what the Khan's plan really was. What also is an exceptionally clever move during this movie is when it sends a message from the sky as he throws down his guard to send a message to John Cusack. That way he knows that he actually is on their side and that he wants to help them in this heated situation. Also how Nicolas Cage acts in this movie through his body language, the way he acts when someone backtalks him, or when they set off his anger trigger. You just see a raw and real performance from Nicolas Cage like no other. Perhaps you could also see that his role as Cameron Poe is actually one of his best. If we give a little description note to the movie itself, it is a movie that takes a very interesting turn in the last hour of the movie, which heats suspense to see comedy with Danny Trejo, the character that wants to become Johnny 23, the crashing into the casino, or that heated tension when they almost shoot down the plane. There's a ton of iconic scenes here, and all these explosions make it look like a Michael Bay movie. Of course, it is not him that has made this one, but it has a touch of the old, more hardcore action movies that you sorely miss to this day. For me, the movie itself is a strong 7, and the role from Nicolas Cage here is a crafty, beautiful performance.